Just for a brief moment, consider that you're excited to meet and hang out with your friends in that cool brand new coffee shop downtown. You can almost smell that heavenly coffee shop aroma. You envision spending time there, enjoying your brew while working on your speech, or maybe just people watching. Heck, you might even meet someone new. Reality check. You're there at the door of that cool new coffee shop, but you can't get in. It has a 6-inch doorstep that is keeping you from entering. Wheelchairs don't roll up stairs. Your heart sinks because you realize that basic accessibility was once again not considered in that building's design. Deep inside, you feel a little hurt again, a little insulted again. You feel left out. No, you don't want some stranger to help you get in the door, yank you up from behind. That's embarrassing and causes a scene. You want equal access to public spaces to be a non issue. I mean, come on, how hard is this to figure out? As you step back and try to figure out how to get in, you notice the elderly couple straining to lift their arthritic legs up that stoop of the stair there. You see a mom with a baby stroller stop, want to go in, but didn't change her mind because you pull everything up the stairs. She doesn't want to do that. You notice the delivery guy. You can feel his sore lower back as he's straining to pull his two-wheeler up the stair for the delivery over and over and over again. Then you see a person almost fall off by slipping off the edge of that step. Scary, yeah. Isn't it amazing how impactful such a seemingly minor detail can have in a building's construction? I bet most of you have no idea that something like this was even an issue. That's normal. You don't notice it. It's totally understandable, as our societal norms still do not see accessibility for all as the norm. What if we could make our world equally accessible for everyone? Why not design public spaces that were equally accessible for everyone? Always. Everybody, no matter what your situation. What if that coffee shop had a small ramp right from the get-go? Probably would have cost the same or even less to install. All that was required, and here it goes, class, wait for it, is a little mindfulness. Or even better, what about not having to be mindful at all because putting in a user-friendly entrance ramp was just the way it was done? I mean, why would you do it any other way anyway? It doesn't make sense. I'd like to introduce you to something called all-inclusive building design. This type of design builds an environment so that it can be accessed and used by as many people as possible, regardless of age, gender, and disability. I hope you can see in this picture what I'm talking about. That's a ramp instead of stairs in a building. Isn't that cool? And easy to do and easy to maintain. This picture, I hope it gives you an idea. It's not just relevant to buildings. It also plays a role in the outside environment. Next time you're out walking around your town, take time to notice the curb cuts. It's pretty cool how easy it makes to get from the sidewalk to street level and street level to sidewalk level, isn't it? That curb cut being there, that's just a conscious design decision. It's a no-brainer. Plus, it's much safer. It's more durable and requires less maintenance than a standard curb. All-inclusive design isn't simply a virtuous concept either. Rather, it's absolutely essential. I'll illustrate what I mean by the following example. Suppose someone is crossing a busy street and they're in a wheelchair, or they have a hard time lifting their legs or walking. One side has a curb cut. They get to the side, there's no curb cut. They can't get back up on the sidewalk. The light turns green, then traffic comes roaring through. Cars and trucks are getting really close. They're getting scared for their life. Does it sound scary? Does it sound traumatizing? You bet. It is something you don't forget right away. It affects you. Can you see now how exclusive design also considers psychological and emotional impacts on people? Interesting, isn't it? Now let's go inside a building. Ever consider how nice it would be if your kitchen countertops were height adjustable? Now, isn't that cool? What if they could be lowered for a height challenged person such as myself, or raised for a standing or tall person? I used to stand 6'3". Now I'm half of that height. I get it both ways. This should be standard design in new homes and in restaurant kitchens anyway. As a matter of fact, it's a no-brainer. Talk to any chef, and they'll probably tell you that their back is always hurting from having to bend over all the time when they're working. Let's take it to the restaurant dining room now. I personally cannot get my legs underneath the table. I'm sitting in a chair, so I can't adjust my legs. And then tables are usually too low for me to get underneath to, so I'm forced to eat from a sideways position. You're probably thinking, oh, he's just oversensitive and he's whining. Stop it, you know. Well, maybe I am, but try this next time you go out with your friends. Instead of putting your chair like everyone else, turn yours sideways to the table, like this, and make yourself stay that way for the entire time that you're there. I guarantee you're going to start feeling weird. You'll probably feel self-conscious. Everyone will start looking at you. You know, what's wrong with them? And you'll probably get frustrated from not being able to eat your food over your plate like everyone else. Damn, shoulder's in the way. Wouldn't it be a novel concept to have a height adjustable table no matter what? It'd be a little crank you could turn to raise and lower the table all by yourself. You know, then someone with problems with a bad back, even, or leg issues like me, would be able to eat just like everyone else. Here's where you and I can casually plant the seeds for a new way of thinking about things, about accessibility for people. By simply mentioning this idea of a height adjustable table to a restaurant owner before we leave, we could create some awareness. You know, a little seed be dropped. If enough customers voice an opinion, then the business owner might take notice and try out a height adjustable table. Imagine a future where height adjustable tables were the norm everywhere you went, counters, everything, even at work or at school. Just think of that kink you get in between your shoulders from hunching over your computer for so long, you know, because the computer's too low. Now you know a simple fix for that issue. Lower, higher, or bring your computer higher. If you are a person who likes getting more involved, then you can advocate by educating your local politicians as to what all-inclusive design is. I have a peer who advocated for this very cause by working with their town leaders at their town center so they could take an awareness tour with her. Now, she was pretty clever and brought along a wheelchair for each of those town councilors to use, just like she had to experience a town from her level. They had an eye-opening experience with some giving up and walking instead of wheeling because getting around was so difficult. One of them even stood up and cursed. This is an example of how you and I can promote change. Our society needs to reset its view of inclusivity. We need to stop seeing accessibility as an obligation and see it as an opportunity for all. You have a say in this and can start making this happen by insisting that all-inclusive design be used whenever and wherever your tax dollars are used to create public space, inside and outside, whether it be in a building or out in the street. This is something you can do right now to make inclusivity a reality for everyone. Thank you for listening. And let me end this with a quote from a leading all-inclusive design architect. Her name's Karen Breitmeyer. Good design and construction doesn't need to be grand, elevated, or bold, but it does have to be thoughtful. Good design is accessible. Good design lets you in the door. It makes you feel welcome to sit down for a drink. Hey, anyone want to go out for coffee? Thanks.